Let's talk about the patient who ate the dead rat. I cannot throw up on this doctor. So I had been in the ICU for about a year now, and I was feeling like a pretty good nurse. My bedside manner was good. I didn't kill anybody. What? But there was a rite of passage that I felt like I still needed to go through, and that was to impress Dr. H. Dr. H was a very smart, by the book, very intimidating doctor. Everything was very formal. Instead of Tylenol, you had to say acetaminophen. You couldn't abbreviate drugs. Instead of sucks, you had to say succinylcholine. She'd go in your room every day, make sure your patient was at 30 degrees, make sure that you had an ambu bag in there, make sure that you had a flashlight that shined with the light of 1,000 suns. She always called me by my last name. I was Mr. White to her. In fact, she was only on a first name basis with really, really senior nurses, and I desperately wanted her to use my first name. But to be honest, for that whole year, I was basically a buffoon around this woman. Like the time in rounds, instead of bed rest, I said breast. Or the time she came up behind me to ask me a question and I didn't know she was there because I was too busy wiping a cologne sample from a magazine all over my body. Mr. White, I needed a win. She never asked me things in rounds that I knew the answers to, ever. And I knew some things. I remembered things from nursing school that I could probably answer. Cricoid pressure. Cricoid. I like weird words. Cricoid. It's when you put your hand on someone's throat who's getting intubated so that the doctor can have a clear shot. McGill forceps. McGill. They're like curved salad tongs that you could pull shit out of people's throats with. She never asked me about McGill forceps. But basically, I believed it was my time. I was a good nurse. I felt good about myself. I'm good. Yeah, I say some dumb shit, but like, I'm going to hold their hand when they're dying. So on this particular night, Dr. H is on call. And the first thing we did, for some reason, is present her with red sneakers. I'm not sure the significance of the red sneakers. You know I signed that card, right? I was like, oh, Andrew. She loved the shoes. She put them on. I got through rounds with her, and I didn't say breast. Once rounds are over, huge exhale. The rest of my night's going to be good. Problem is, my patient started going bad. It was apparent that we were going to have to intubate him shortly. Dr. H is going to come up. She's going to intubate my patient. I'm going to have to help her. I'm going to have game. She gets to the head of the bed. The respiratory therapist is there. I'm there. Other nurses' patient's oxygen level is 86. Mr. White, please give the patient 50 milligrams of succinylcholine. I know what that is. Succinylcholine in. She starts looking in the mouth. I think I'm going to need that flashlight. Psych, of course my flashlight was ready. Flashlight, light of 1,000 suns. Thank you, Mr. White. Oxygen level's now 77. She goes to put the tube in the mouth. Could I get some cricoid pressure? No effing way. Yes. Cricoid pressure. Oh my God. Thank you again, Mr. White. Oxygen level is 70. Still, it's not going in. What do you think she asked for? Oh my God. Oh my God. Say it with me. Can somebody hand me the McGill forceps? This is unbelievable. This has never happened to me in my entire life. A sea of blank faces. Nobody knows what McGill forceps are. Like a gymnast. Had one hand on the throat, my free hand, I reach across the bed like a contortionist. Rummage through all this junk. I hand her the McGill forceps. Oxygen level is 66. Mr. White is prepared tonight. Yes, I am prepared. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. I am on fire. I am fire. There is nothing that can bring me down. She pulls a dead rat out of this guy's throat. And there is bile in my mouth. Okay, it wasn't a rat. It was this conglomeration of dead skin cells and dried mucus and probably food and hair, but I swear to God, it had teeth and a tail and if in my mind went rat. I went rat. She's holding it inches from my face. I can't move. I'm holding this guy's throat. I had to be the cricoid pressure guy. I had to be, remember? Cricoid pressure. I cannot throw up on this doctor. Guys, please don't let me throw up on her, please. Dr. H sees that I'm struggling, and I see her head come around this dead fucking rat. And she looks at me. She smiles. And she says, mind the shoes, Andrew. I'm in!
Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
The rat goes in the trash, the tube goes in the throat, the oxygen level goes back up to 100%. I don't throw up, and she calls me Andrew for the rest of my life. If you're new to something, but you are passionate about it, you believe in what you're doing, keep going. What you're doing has value. People will know your name. I see you.
Head talk, check my nails.